What's going on, guys? Gamersgoon here today for the second time today. And obviously this story was not planned. I did not come in here and plan to do this video today. But this is a video that I wanted to do immediately. Unlike the situation that I handled earlier today regarding NFL safety Damar Hamlin, I did decide to do this video almost immediately as soon as I saw the news. And while the news is still rumors and while all the information has not come out, I do feel good enough about everything that has came out in order to justify making a video about it. And obviously, this is a less sensitive topic than somebody um, in the situation that Damar Hamlin was in. This is regards to the WWE and their potential sale, and I want to, for right now, use the words potential sale because technically we have not had any confirmation from the WWE that this has went down, but almost every single major wrestling news outlet is reporting it. Almost everybody is saying it when it comes to anybody within the know with WWE, with inside sources of WWE. So I do feel comfortable making this video because I do believe this to be true. But it kind of got pushed to the forefront earlier today when Stephanie McMahon resigned, and that's really what made me believe in this. And now I'm not exactly sure who had this news first, but this is the first time that I came across it. Was John Alba who retweeted Steven Muehlhausen, who says sources WWE has been sold to the Saudi Arabia Public's investment fund. The company will go back to being private, unknown if Vince McMahon will return as the head of creative, but is expected by some people. Like I said, this does not shock me. With the news that Stephanie McMahon was resigning earlier today, you figured something was a little fishy. Then you had a lot of news outlets saying this might be the biggest wrestling news of the year already, kind of teasing it a little bit. And then about 30 minutes ago, we had the news break, and it started leaking that Saudi Arabia's, their investment fund has purchased the WWE from Vince McMahon. And the main thing I want to ask and the main thing I want to focus on when it comes to this situation specifically is how it affects people within the WWE that aren't necessarily viewed in the proper lighting from the Saudi Arabia government. I want to take this time to mention that this is not a Saudi Arabia people thing. I'm not sitting here criticizing their people, only their government. Their government has multiple times just they don't treat women the best. They don't treat the LGBTQ community the best. I believe they've killed people in the past that have supported those views that don't really align with their views, and that is specifically the government. This has nothing to do with the people, like a normal everyday citizen in Saudi Arabia. I don't want anybody to think that all Saudi Arabian people are bad. Their government, however, is one that has multiple times abused human rights responsibilities as a country they should have. They've abused it multiple times, and that is why you've seen many people over the years when we do the Saudi Arabia shows for the WWE that don't want to go there. Sami Zayn can't go there. I believe AJ Styles doesn't go there. I think Kevin Owens is one that doesn't really like going there. Many of the women aren't allowed there. They had to wear proper special whatever attire that was approved by the Saudi government in order to go there. And I can't imagine that people feel safe working for people that have abused human rights to the way that that government has. I look at them and I think, what happens to the LGBTQ members of the WWE roster? What happens to the women of the WWE roster? How are they treated? Do they want to stay? Do they want to figure out whether or not they're going to be treated properly? Or do they just go and immediately say, you know what? Forget it. I will take whatever punishment you got in terms of non competing clauses or whatever. I will forego whatever my financial income will be for the remainder of my contract, and I will bail out of my contract, and maybe I will go work for an Impact, or maybe I will go work for an ABW. I don't want this video to be about the competition. I really don't. But I do believe that we will see if this rumor, which is, I'm still going to say it's a rumor, even though it is more than likely true, if it does go through, I see multiple people. I was saying it to my boy Stevie just a little bit ago when this news first broke. I can see 25% of this roster, maybe more, that leave. That just straight up leave. And I tweeted it out. This is what concerns me most. The WWE, these are real people. They have morals, they have all this. How are they going to react to being subject to a new government? How are they going to react, right? Or a new governing body over them? Granted, do I think Saudi Arabia is going to be in the day-to-day WWE? No. But how many people just can't justify working for them? I don't know. But I can see many people stepping away if this is true. And that leads me to my next point that I wanted to get at. When wrestlers don't want to wrestle there at the WWE, and you've already struggled many times to push the Saudi Arabia pay-per-views, if the fans really just don't like Saudi, I'm going to give them leeway that maybe there's not. Maybe people just didn't like the super shows or whatever, but it doesn't nearly get the same amount of love as an actual pay-per-view. Maybe people just don't want to support that. And believe it or not, I do believe if this is the path that the WWE is going down, that they are actually selling it to the Saudi Arabia government, I would not be shocked if the WWE is in its deathbed. I would not be shocked if their ratings go lower. I would not be shocked if people stop supporting them. I will not be shocked if wrestlers walk out on the company. I think this is really bad in terms of what it means for WWE. Financially, WWE will always be around. It will always be around. I don't want you to think I think this company is going bankrupt out next year and it's done. The coverage, the amount of viewers, the quality of wrestling, the wrestlers that are there, I expect to significantly decrease and be on the levels of an Impact, if this is true. I can see this completely killing everything that Vince McMahon Sr. made the WWE to be. I can see it completely derailing everything and being an absolute train wreck in terms of what it once was. This news is not news that I expected, like I said. But it's news that, I mean, obviously, everybody's going to be putting it out there. Everybody's going to want to get it out there. And that's what we have to do. Because, obviously, I don't think anybody outside of Vince McMahon, and it doesn't even seem like Stephanie really cared. Like, Stephanie doesn't seem like she supported the decision. But it doesn't really feel like anybody was thought about the wrestlers, the quality of life for the wrestlers, any of those people employed within the company. It doesn't really feel like anybody else's feelings were thought about besides Vince McMahon's pocket. And that's unfortunate to see just what once was probably one of the things that brought all of us together. Obviously, my channel was built off wrestling for a very long time, and I have drifted away from that content a little bit. But it brought us all together. Everybody that's watching this video, everybody that follows me on Twitter, everybody that I've had close communication with and became friends with over the years, a lot of them have came from the wrestling world and our shared passion of the WWE, which ended up blossoming into whether it be AEW, Stardom, whether it be Impact, whether it be Ring of Honor, whether it be whatever. We've all shared the same love and appreciation for wrestling, and that could all go downhill with this deal. And I really feel like if there was ever a time that the WWE was going to go down in terms of like the death of the WWE, it's now. We are watching the death of the WWE. But now that my light, my little camera light that I have to illuminate my face died, I will get on out of here. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being through the ride that was WWE when I did cover it. I know I don't really cover it as much as I used to, but thank you for supporting me. Thank you for everything. But once again, I want to send thoughts and hope and everything that we can to everybody that feels threatened or feels like they might not want to work for the Saudi Arabia version of the WWE or whatever this might come, but leadership that's coming in or whatever. I want to think about, hopefully they are able to find jobs that they do like. Hopefully they're able to either accept what's there. Hopefully nobody is affected by this in terms of the personal WWE wrestlers or any of the staff. Hopefully nobody is discriminated against. I do fear for that. Um, Hopefully that's not a thing we have to discuss. But obviously, with the way that government has treated people in the past, it would be ignorant not to say that it is a possibility. And hopefully that is not something we have to come back on here and talk about ever again. I don't want anybody in the WWE, whether it's Roman Reigns or whether it's some dude in catering that doesn't wrestle, I don't want any of them to feel like they're being discriminated against in terms of how they treat them, because I know where the people that bought the company, I know what people have suffered through in their country because of their government's leadership. I'm just hoping that that is not something that we have to talk about in terms of WWE. I pray that that is the furthest thing, and I'm hoping that everything can still be the same, but I will not be shocked if this is the death of the WWE.